My friends and I had been getting more and more angry as the days went on, and still the BBC continued with their one-sided, biased coverage of what Israel was doing in Gaza. We decided we've got to do something. Around the country, people had been demonstrating outside BBC in Glasgow, in Manchester, a huge demonstration outside the BBC headquarters in London, which went unreported. There was an Occupy of BBC Bristol for a whole week. The director, Ken Loach, came down and lent his voice to that occupation and criticised the BBC for their coverage. So we wanted to do something. Look, you can see it wasn't very well thought through, it wasn't very well planned. What we'd intended was to write Palestine, BBC's shame. As you can see, we didn't get the chance to do that because as soon as we arrived and started to write, we were pretty much pounced on by this BBC security. And they were quite rough, I think, as you'll see in this video. We've got the bruises to prove it. And also there was this really nasty man in a blue t-shirt. I'd love to know who he was. He was definitely a BBC employee because he was wearing a lanyard around his neck. So if anyone knows him. But anyway, we did what we could. We don't regret it. It wasn't brilliant, but we got to voice what we feel, that it's BBC's shame the way they're allowing the Israeli government to use it as a platform just for their propaganda, repeating the same old mantra day in, day out. Israel defending itself. What a joke. Just look at the figures. 3 Israeli civilians dead and nearly 2,000 Palestinians. I mean, they've been bombing schools, disability centres, hospitals, again and again the hospitals, mosques. And do the BBC think that ordinary people like myself were stupid? I mean, we have internet. Wake up, BBC, it's all over the internet, the images are there. The first-hand accounts, people are streaming from Gaza, people are blogging. We know what's going on, and yet the BBC continue in their lies by omission, and sometimes even worse. So what we're saying, and what people all around the country said last Saturday, 100,000 people outside the BBC in London, all chanting together, all feeling the same about the BBC. You know what? BBC, shame on you.